Bruce, tell me what a progressive web app is.
Okay, so in the most basic sense, you open up a web browser, like you use Chrome or Safari.
Yeah.
And you open that on your PC and you get the full screen, right?
Yeah.
And then you might, it's like what would you use on a regular basis?
On like a website?
Yeah, like what would be a website you would use on your computer and your phone?
On my computer and my phone. Let's just say the market.
What's the market?
Oh my God!
Oh, like the market, like the New Zealand, the marketplace.
Where you buy stuff,
where you buy stuff. Okay, right.
Place, yeah.
So when you open the market on your PC, you get the full screen, right? You got different categories: sporting goods, male fashion. I don't know. And then, but you get to see it all, and then you drop it in the cart and you buy it, right? So most people use a marketplace in that manner. But if you did open that on your phone through the browser, it's a much smaller screen, right? So everything gets jammed down, squeezed down, and so that's mobile responsive. So it's then optimized for a smartphone screen versus a PC, right? So so people kind of experience this all the time, but then the next step on is a progressive web app is that browser page, but it's specifically being built to be optimized for your smartphone. So in the same way that a smartphone, if you use a mobile app, you know, it's typically all on one screen. You can scroll up and down. It doesn't have as much content squeezed into it.
Okay.
And so that's what we talk about when we're talking about a progressive web app. It runs through a browser, Chrome or Safari, but we build it in a manner that people are going to use it on a mobile device first. They can still use it on a PC or a bigger screen. But you'll see that the difference is that it's more mobile friendly.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a long explanation.
But it's pretty straightforward. Let's talk a little bit about, okay, a website, you can build a website and you make it mobile responsive. It acts and moves like an app anyway. How is that any different from a progressive web app versus just a website that you open up on Safari or Chrome on your phone?
Yeah, so because you're building it for, so certain apps are going to be used more mobile first versus PC, right? And so when you then look at the UI UX design, which I believe there may be an episode on that coming up, it's built so that you can get a great experience on mobile, right? So it's built, a progressive web app is built first for mobile. And so that just has a whole bunch of different dynamics, right? And it's the same thing like if you were to use an application, well, the market, they have a mobile app, right? It's built different and it interacts and looks different to what it was on a PC when you got a massive screen. So that's ultimately the difference, right?
And from what I understand, it also has more functionality than your typical website. It actually kind of some of the functionalities of an app could already be built into a progressive web app.
Yeah.
Now, progressive web apps, do you still get them from the Google Play and the App Store, or?
Right. Okay. So, yeah. So your typical apps that you're downloading from Play Store or Apple Store are mobile apps, and they're controlled by Apple and Google, right? And so they're built in a manner that takes advantage of the smartphone and all the native features.
Right.
So no, progressive web apps are not. So they're not distributed through stores. They're really independent of the big two that dominate smartphones, right?
Yeah.
So and it's become more of a movement in a way because I think the world needs choice other than just Apple and Android.
Yep.
And progressive web apps are a really good alternative now.
Yep.
So for distribution of it, like for example, we built a really nice app for Atomic Coffee.
Yep.
I don't know if you heard of them. They're in Kingsland. They're linked to now a big coffee conglomerate called UCC, the
Yep.
Japanese company. Very, very cool brand. So what they wanted to do was do direct-to-home delivery in an area around their main store in Kingsland, like this awesome cafe if you get a chance to go there. And so they wanted, so we talked them around do a progressive web app because it's a proof of concept. Eventually they may move into a mobile app, but how they distribute that is through their website. So it's just a link, so if you go through it on your phone, you open the link. We then is a prompt to save it to your home screen.
Right,
and then once it's on your home screen, it's there, right? It actually, so that's kind of a common distribution mechanism. You can send, links are easily accessible, right? We just open up the browser and click on your phone and then save it to your home screen. And once it's on your home screen, it just looks and feels like a mobile app. In fact, a lot of people wouldn't even know it's not a mobile app. It is a mobile app, like a traditional native mobile app.
Well, they used to have like a little marker on the side of the app icon indicating that it is kind of just like a shortcut, and it's not like, is that still around? Is that still visible, or you have just the app icon itself?
No, it's just the app icon now.
Yeah. See, so which is why we kind of, all right, if you're not quite in the position to do a massive app, because each technology that we build, each piece of technology that we build for people have implications in terms of aftercare or like maintenance or administration. So sometimes, these are the things that you have to consider, and we make it plain as day with people that we work with, that look, if you do an app, this is what it means once it's launched.
Yeah.
So then we go, all right, if you're not quite ready for that, PWA.
Yeah.
Amongst many, many, many factors and variables, you go, all right, PWA option or an app, or.
Yeah. Well, so I think there's two things, right? Like, it's a logical step into testing if a concept is going to work, right? So a lot of people use Sharesies in New Zealand, and so Sharesies, when they first launched their solution, and they did a really nice job of building a progressive web app, and they distribute it through their website, through their social media channels. It was like so smoothly done. And once people started to use it on their phones, they actually had, firstly, they didn't know that it was a progressive web app, because I used to ask people and they just didn't. But then as their usage grew, they then built a mobile app, which they then distributed, and now you can download it on the respective stores. So that made sense to test market, lower cost, and then evolve into mobile. So that's one option, and that's still a logical path if you scale and you have the customers that warrant an investment into a native mobile app. But actually, progressive web apps are just a really good option nowadays to deliver a really nice mobile experience, and it just keeps getting more and more functionality, right? So we always used to say, if you need the app to work offline, which means there's a downtime in reception, that was like, then you have to go to a native mobile app. But actually, progressive web apps now have that capability. Or push notifications was another one where it goes, no, you definitely have to go to a native mobile app. But actually, all those functionalities are evolving into progressive web apps as well. So it is actually just a good option.
Look, we've gotten to this point of the podcast where I'm about to ask Mr. Howe over here to break it down even more, because like that was pretty clear. He did a great job, ladies and gentlemen. Like, all right, this is what a PWA is, but because we want people to really, really get this, and at the risk of like, every time we explain concepts, jargon, technology to people, we always assume that they understand it because we do. Yeah. And some of these concepts are really just out there for someone who doesn't even use Facebook. So, like that far away from technology. So the goal of the podcast is, if you're watching this, is we break down a really complex concept or truth or reality into something really easy. And what better way to do that than to attempt to explain it to a 5-year-old?
Okay.
So you will now have the opportunity to watch Bruce squirm his way into an explanation of what a PWA is to a 5-year-old. And you can score him, right? 5 out of 5 stars, So if you're watching this or listening to this, I'd love your input. We'll start a little poll in the office as well.
All right.
If this is like 5 stars, 0, whatever. But Bruce,
Okay. So
give it to us, man.
Can I start with a question back to you? What would be a web page that a 5-year-old would?
I have no idea, man. I have no idea.
Okay.
I'd probably be playing Fortnite.
No, but the Fortnite's like a full-on game.
Yeah.
What would be like a website that like a kid would go to?
I have no idea. Like
I don't know. My kids are like old now. YouTube.
YouTube.
No, that doesn't work either, man.
Netflix.
YouTube Kids. No, that doesn't work either.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn. LinkedIn for kids. It could be an opportunity, yeah. Okay, I'm struggling with this one.
Okay, imagine this is like a barbecue, and a 5-year-old kid rocks up to you.
Right, so
Uncle
I'd
Bruce.
say, hey, little Tommy, come over here, mate. Bring your phone with you.
Okay.
Right. And then open up your the browser. Oh no, that's not going to work. So what you would just want them to do is Google a page that they would go to, right? No, see, that's not going to work either. This is really hard. So to explain it to a 5-year-old is pretty hard because, okay, so, I mean, ultimately what it is if you do a Google search, go to a web page, but then you save that to your phone, it's kind of getting towards a progressive web app, but it's not, because you actually still have to, it has to be built specifically as a PWA. So in this case, I don't think a 5-year-old would get it.
What a cop-out. This is a cop-out.
Yeah, but I don't think they would. Yeah.
You tell me, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a very good point. The kids shouldn't have a phone. I mean, it's a terrible, terrible question, because you're encouraging kids to.
Wow. This is just a random conversation between a kid and a grown-up, and what we're saying is explain what a PWA is. We're not encouraging them to do anything. But we understand. We understand. If you allow, that's your jam. Parenting is your jam. Like he's a good parent. I'm a good. Anyway.
I can explain it to my. No, I probably couldn't.
Well, I'll give him from me 3 stars for trying. He did.
Well, I'm honest.
He didn't try.
I mean, I'm not trying to bullshit you.
So, okay, cool. That wraps up the PWA conversation. And
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. But we've got into this part of the podcast now where I'm going to give dear old Bruce over here a time slot to do a shameless plug for Putti,
Okay.
Wow. Whatever you want to talk about and whatever you believe is a good reason for people to talk to us and engage with us. Yeah.
Right. Well, there's very few businesses that don't require digital solutions, right? I think I'm going to sound really old and boring again, but I think a lot of businesses are quite intimidated about the choices, and if that's the case, then they should come and have a chat to us, because that's what we do, right? There's incredible choice in this world. So there's a lot of software that you can buy off shelf and serves a great purpose, like Xero. There's heaps of great pieces of software for that. But most businesses have to differentiate ultimately to be able to survive, do better than their competition, and therefore a digital outcome or differentiation through some sort of a solution, a software solution, like it becomes more and more a great option. And I think most businesses think that customized software or something built specifically for them is way beyond, right? And like it's just too expensive, like heard all the stories, budgets blow out. But actually, like PWAs are a great example of something that is, very much in the wheelhouse, like you can afford it for most Kiwi businesses, right? And I think that's a big barrier to kind of get through. So you're still talking in the tens of thousands of dollars. It's not like, it's an investment, but it's not in the hundreds of thousands. And yeah, businesses just need to get their head around that, right? And so that's what we do. We try and understand the issues, the opportunities. Especially good if businesses understand their processes, like they're locked in. And then we just go through and figure out what the choices are, right? Yeah. There you go. Wow.
Good job, man.
That was quite impressive.
But like any other thing that we build, it requires UI and UX, which is why we're covering that off on the next episode.
Are you? With Ben and Jay? They're amazing. I'll tell you one issue, though, that I do have.
What's the issue?
Like, and this is a common thing, but it will come out, I'm sure. Slides, those like sandal things that people wear. Yeah. They are not appropriate attire to wear in the workplace. I'm just putting that out there.
I just bought myself a pair of slides.
No, you didn't. For real? Have you?
I'm about to. Some Crocs. Also known as birth control.
Yeah, they're awful. Oh my God, good call. So I had a pair of Crocs in 2005, and they were uncool then. How can that come back? They're awful.
I thought for sure they were going to shut down. I thought it was some fad, and then they had a hard time because everybody's like, oh, this birth control, this pure dad vibes, projecting dad vibes, mow the lawn type kind of footwear.
And young people think they look cool. They don't look cool. They look like idiots.
With socks on.
With socks on?
Yeah.
Would you wear that to work?
I don't know. Ben, weigh in on here, man. Weigh on. Like, would you wear some Crocs to work? Some Crocs.
Slides, even worse. What have you got on today?
He's got some crap kickers today.
Oh, you got your shit kickers on.
Yeah, look at him.
Yeah, way better.
That's Business Ben. Have you met him? That's Business Ben.
Business Ben, yeah.
Oh, you're going to meet Business Ben on episode 2 of Launch Time with Putti. By the way, Launch Time, working title. We thought it'd be a good title because we launch all sorts of weird and cool stuff from out of here.
We do. Even skyrockets.
Same time, food and coming off of his credit card. So that's awesome. We'll see you next time, and hang on for that. Like, hold on, and wait for that episode. UI and UX. Watch Ben and Jay squirm and trying to explain to a 5-year-old what UI and UX is. It's going to be good fun. This has been Bruce and Tom. We'll see you.